Well, I'm so glad that we have this sound system here so that you can all hear Jim Walsh's speech. A wee bit under the weather, but thank you very much. I wouldn't miss this for anything else. This is something that needed to happen because Ward Connerly is right. This is a momentous American achievement, what happened in this campaign. The referendum 88. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about because I ran the I-200 campaign 21 years ago, which gave us the Civil Rights Act. And people say, well, why was that race, you won that by 17 percentage points, and in this race, the good guys won by only about 1 percentage point. Well, there's 3 reasons for that. One of them, and Ward alluded to this, and Yvonne amplified it nicely, was the ballot title. Here is the ballot title for I-200. This was the one 21 years ago. This is what people saw when they were filling out their ballot. Shall government be prohibited from discriminating or granting preferential treatment based on race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in public employment, education, and contracting? Just straight up debate on affirmative action and whether it goes too far when it uses racial preferences. And you had civil rights leaders known throughout the country. Jesse Jackson flew here. Maxine Waters spoke in Eastern Washington, but if you were quiet, you could hear her in Western Washington. Julian Bond, several others. And that's what the debate was about. It was an honest debate about equality versus equality through discrimination and not through opportunity. It was diversity through discrimination versus equality of opportunity. And we won that race by 17 percentage points and just shocked the entire state. Now, here was the ballot title for R-88. The legislature passed Initiative Measure 1000 concerning affirmative action and remedying discrimination, and voters have filed a sufficient referendum petition on this act. Initiative 1000 would allow the state to remedy discrimination for certain groups and to implement affirmative action without the use of quotas or preferential treatment, as defined, in public education, employment, and contracting. Should Initiative 1000 be approved? Well, ballot titles drive debates. So the debate was not a reprise. It was not a rerun of I-200. The debate on referendum 88 is, does it even use preferences? Does it even use quotas? And I think Yvonne showed demonstrably that it set up the very architecture for mandating and enforcing quotas. I love what Slade Gordon, former 3-term Attorney General before he became a 3-term U.S. Senator, said. He said, it's the most deceptive ballot title I have ever seen. He said, the ballot title denies what the initiative requires. I was 91 and he still got it. The other advantage the other side had was money. Now, you heard Linda mention that the campaign raised $1.5 million, but much of that was to pay to get it on the ballot in the first place. In the last 30 days of this campaign, the 30 days that matters most when it comes to fundraising, the other side had a 5-to-1 advantage, including a $500,000 contribution from the Group Health Foundation, i.e. Kaiser Permanente, which was almost certainly washed, i.e. people were making donations to the foundation, and the foundation then would make a contribution to the campaign. So 5-to-1. I'll tell you, some people came to the rescue in a very big way, and I want to recognize them here because we were able to raise some big money at the last minute so we could have a radio campaign in central and eastern Washington and a television ad campaign in western Washington and a get out the vote drive throughout the state. We had Mr. Skip Rowley step forward. And Skip was there 21 years ago with I-200, and he's a very special man. I've known him a long time, and I say special because very successful business leader, and he has been for decades. And he could easily say, well, John, I've got so many other irons in the fire, I just can't deal with this. Or, John, I was happy to join you 20 years ago, but, I'm getting on in years and everything. Let some other people handle this. But instead, what he said was, John, it really burns me up when people try and divide this nation by race and other groups, because blankety blank, I take out the expletives deleted, we're all Americans. And that's what he said. So, Skip came through big time. Kemper Freeman, Bellevue Square, the Bellevue Collection, Snowflake Lane, which you all should check out, during the holidays. He wrote a very generous check, and as he was writing it, he said, they're going to come after me. So I'll tell you, if the other side does a boycott, I think we should all do a boycott and do all our buying over at Bellevue Square and Bellevue Collection. Then there's my old friend Bruce McCaw. Bruce and his team. I think Marshall is here from Bruce's team here tonight. He came through twice with 2 big donations that mattered. As did Wayne Perry, who is a part owner of the Mariners and the former national president of the Boy Scouts. Again, another organization that believes in treating people by the same benchmark, by the same measurement, the same standard. And Robert Osborne and Elling Halverson, people who really came through. I can't tell you how grateful we are because boy, oh boy, did we need that help at the last minute. Mr. Brett Bader, who helped keep the campaign on an even keel, and that was necessary. So that was the second advantage that the other side had. The third advantage was voter turnout. The overall voter turnout in Washington was a little over 48%. In the city of Seattle, it was over 60%. And Seattle voted almost 80% in favor of referendum 88 against us. And in any other election, yes, Seattle voter turnout would be high, but it wouldn't be that much higher than the rest of the state. So my major point here is the other side had every conceivable advantage, all of that, plus the media, plus the unions, plus the endorsements, and they still lost. And they lost because of this wonderful coalition. Ward and I had this conversation with I-200. Why can't we get the Asians on board? Don't they see that this is so much in their interest 21 years ago? Well, now, boy, are they here. And that, what I call that Freedom Coalition, is just going to get bigger and bigger, and that is the next step. The next step is, you bet the other side is going to keep trying something, but you know what? Maybe the best thing to combat them with is a counteroffensive. We go to that. We've already shown we got the people on our side. Maybe we come at them with something else, something affirmative that supports freedom and opportunity. Because I'll tell you something, the people in this room are the reason why referendum 88 failed. And it feels so good to be around so many good people who are not only good-hearted, as Jim said, our people are happy, our people are optimistic, our people believe in this country and its creed and its principles, its founding virtues. And they believe that you can work hard and make a difference and correct injustice, which is exactly what happened when we overruled the legislature and the people set the legislature right and did the right thing on election day. Thank you very much.